Now, I did work with one man who had his home bombed and his church bombed in 1957. And they did a wonderful thing with the Montgomery boycott. That was great, and we should honor our heroes, give honor to whom honor is due. However, in 2026, God has blessed us because of their actions. We have integration, and we got better jobs, better homes, better communities, better ways in which to educate the children. And all of us could vote. We had the opportunity to vote, which they're trying to take away now. They give and they can take it away. But what we're doing is something proactive that will sustain us. In the long run, we can do more. Now, Our Gold Village's first plan is just a matter of pennies. Anyone can participate in this program. Any black person can participate in this building program to enhance our community because we need it. We have better health, we have better longevity, we have more world knowledge, more travel. We have all of that under our belt. And I lived in a country in Latin America, which helps me to contribute to my knowledge of what's going on with the immigration issue and immigration game. After a terrible accident here, I needed a place where I could use my savings to at least spread it out until my funds came in. Most of us have heard of the African proverb, give a man a fish and he can eat for a day, but teach a man how to fish and he can eat for a lifetime. That's what Our Gold Village wants to do. We want to structure things, no matter where you live, no matter what town or what city you live in, you can do this and then get support to do what you need to do in your community. That's what we want to do. Fill out the survey. Right now, we're eating from day to day, from protests to boycott to the next event. Our ancestors, right out of slavery, they built. We are a strong and resilient people and a creative people. We can do much more, but we can do much more if we help one another and support one another. And that's what we need to structure. I want to show you a collective path of building up our community. Building is better than burning. So if the government jobs cease, the economy is bad, we can continue, we can survive. Like one of my ancestors said during the Depression, we have everything we need on this farm. No matter what happens in the recession, our needs are met. So the sooner you do the survey, the sooner we can start. I want to give you a strategy to build up our black economy, our village, in your town, your city, that puts you in control of jobs, creating jobs, investment in your own businesses. If we did this, we could own that, just buy that store that the young man, that Cyrus, was shot at, 130 feet away from the entrance of the store. We could buy that. I have a vision of you being in charge, of you being in control of your economy. When we are in charge of our own business, the profits, and our self-righteousness, determination, kukichakalia, ujamaa, some of y'all know what those terms mean. Every black person can participate no matter how much money you have. Again, I want to reiterate that. Every black person can participate because the first program is just a matter of pennies. We must build, not just boycott. This is how to get black respect, if we want respect. Because some of us wonder why we don't get respect and how we can manage disrespect. One reason we don't get respect is because we don't use our collective potential. Now, you and I have seen black men and women with so much potential walking down the street. Now, let's use this analogy. A tall black man or a tall black woman, they're not using their full potential, just going to the liquor store, buying a beer, and that's, going to work, watching TV, and that's their life. They're not using their full potential. A muscular black man or young lady, and they're going throughout life not tapping into their full potential. For one reason or another, they're not getting on the football field or not getting on the court. Now, not all young men and women should do that. Some of them are scientists. They have that potential as well, but we're just using this as an analogy because most of us are familiar with American football. But they're not using their potential. And we say, well, what a waste. What a waste. They're not doing anything with their life and they have so much potential. And we say, Well, this is how sometimes other communities can look at us, because while we're feeding into their community, building up their community, we're not doing anything for ourselves. I'm giving you a path by which we can say, look at what they're doing, not just individually. Individually, we're doing so much, but how much greater could it be? How many more young men and women could we lift in our community and direct them in the path they should be, put them on the path they should be on, if we just simply had collective effort and showed them the way. Much of it is found in Acts, the 4th chapter. One soul, one heart, one objective, to bring us together. This is a positive thing. It's a moral thing. So go to ourgoldvillage.store, only on Shopify, and complete the survey. One last thing. When people look at our community, they see all the millionaires and all the billionaires, and they wonder why. But why don't they do more for themselves? And we are doing a lot for ourselves in certain agencies, but certain organizations in our community are reliant upon donations, and they can only go so far. But what we're talking about is having an unlimited empowerment plan, because we don't care what AT&T says, we don't care what Verizon says, we don't care what Elon Musk does or conservatives do. We can do some things that will empower us and empower our young men for the future. Now, they say that in 2050, the black community will be impoverished. We can either let that scenario play out, or we can go with the Acts 4 plan. And let me show you how that can be done. I don't know why, but it's just a burning in my heart to do this. I'm not, as Peter said, I'm not silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. And maybe it should be a king or prince or a celebrity doing this, but God has laid it on my heart. And as far as the east is from the west, so are our ways far from God's ways. They thought Jesus should have been born in the royal palace. That's what the Pharisees thought. But God had another path. So I'm just a servant trying to do God's will, to introduce you to a better way, so that our tears can be turned into joy, and so that the homelessness can turn into shelter, so that the prisoners, ex-cons, can have a way to go to support their families and to build up their families, to build up our community. So God bless you. May the peace of God be with you, rest, rule, and abide with you, now and forevermore. Goodbye.